not spill a bottle of something and ruin somebody else's calendar.
Tried out pretty good.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
Hey, I cropped it right. There we go. Great job, Mike. Hey, we are our engineer, right? We always got to thank him.
Yes, thank you, Mike.
And this is Kaz Kwiatkowski, City Councilman, and my good friend
DJ Barker.
What do we call you? Emeritus?
Emeritus. I'm not emeritus anything. I'm not a member of any board. I'm just here.
Well, we're here for Taxpayers Hotline. Where
oh, that's right. I thought
any subject is fair game, just as long as you keep it in bounds of good taste.
I thought you just hired me to be a seat filler.
No. You actually stimulate my mind, believe me or not. You know that?
That's the first time I've been accused of that.
No, you do a good job. Anything that... Oh, boy, look at this. Just about when you thought...
This is the opposite of last week because I walked in on you guys last week.
Yeah.
We are all so good on timing. We start 2-3 minutes late. People come in whenever they
actually,
want.
I was up...
Awesome.
I have another meeting after this meeting, which is, I go from one to the other.
Yeah.
So I was a little late because I had to eat quick lunch and had some paperwork to do upstairs.
Poor guy. You're retired, remember that.
Retirement. It's actually... I'm thinking about going back to work. It was a lot easier. It really was. But what do we got new? Anything?
Oh, I forgot my notebook.
Oh no! What was he going to bring up? Nothing?
I got stuff. I'd love to talk about stuff. But
go ahead. Tell somebody
it's stuff that usually bounces off of people's heads, but I want to see wind turbines.
You want to see what?
Wind turbines.
Oh, yeah.
Energy. I want to see renewable energy, solar energy, wind turbines, things that are free. They just come to us because the sun shines down. You get energy out of it.
Well, if you go out
the wind blows, it blows the wind turbine. If you just go across the lake, jump up across the lake.
Go up to Buffalo.
Go up to Buffalo, you see some wind turbines. But if you go up on the Detroit side, on the Canada side of,
Cleveland has a couple around.
There's 2 or 3 when you drive through the city of Cleveland, and I think that really shows a progressive state of mind. We really need to have stuff like that. We have the whole I-90 corridor with lots of farmland. We could put some wind turbines along the way.
Did you see them when you were out in the Midwest?
When I was out in the Midwest, I saw so many amazing things. I saw fields, just endless fields.
Loaded with them, right?
Loaded with wind turbines.
I lost track.
And they were all cranking.
I lost track counting them one day. I said,
yeah.
My gosh, I said, look, we were out somewhere in, we were close to Iowa one time.
Iowa. It was just
filled. We were going through Missouri and that area, and I said, wow, I said, you made you wonder when you had the tornadoes.
Yeah.
How these things held up.
Well, they usually lock them down. They're actually built pretty solid, and a lot of the structure is actually hollow but steel enforced, and they hold up really well. They don't often have problems with them.
No, well, we actually talked about it here. There was there's been a push. I'm trying to think of the group that's behind it. Of course, they wanted to go out in the lake. Mm-hmm. The lake.
What Buffalo does. They have theirs in the lake.
Yeah, and there's some environmental issues that have to be tackled, but
yeah, but seriously, if you think about it, there's no environmental issues to be tackled because they don't pollute.
No, I mean,
you need to build the structure.
We still have to go through the process.
The environmental people worried about the birds getting hit with the propellers. That's a big.
Yeah, but you know what?
My cousin designed one that has it going in a spiral going up in the air like this.
Yeah.
And he has a screen around. That's probably only 40 foot high. Mm-hmm. And he gets all the power he wants right here in Westerville.
Well, here's a good one. When they built the tower down to Dock, right?
They could have put one there.
They said that they didn't want to enclose it.
Yeah.
Because of the birds. Mm-hmm. Now, they could have enclosed it with glass, I'm saying,
Yeah.
But they didn't. And, could have made it decorative in some way, but so that entered into. So I thought about this when I was in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Now in Chicago, they got a strange phenomenon. It's called tall buildings. Same as New York City. I mean, real tall buildings.
Yeah.
Not the 15-story one we have here, I'm talking about, 100-story, 80-story.
Yeah.
New York, same thing, right? I thought about that. Now, I was having coffee in the Hancock building, and I was having coffee in what they now call Willis Tower, which is a Sears building. Now, have you ever been up there? It's all glass enclosed. It's like from floor up.
Yeah.
You really you get freaked out when you're sitting there.
Yeah.
You got to get used to it, but, you sit there and you got a panoramic view of Chicago, and it's glass to glass, floor to ceiling, right? Don't remember any birds hitting all the time I was up there. Now, I looked around the building one time just to see. I didn't see any carcasses.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, do we have dumb birds in here or what?
That's probably what it is. I'm afraid for the dumb birds.
You're going to get a couple casualties, but,
But there are hundreds of thousands of them, and it's not like it's going to be putting the birds at risk of going into extinction.
I don't think so. But
Like I said, my cousin designed one when I described it, and he has a machine shop, and it runs the whole machine shop.
That's cool.
And you know what I mean? And then for the sun, now we lost out on that because at the end of the last month, the government was subsidizing a lot of that.
Really? Wow.
So there's a person on 38th and Davison, about 4 houses going west. He's got 7 panels on this house.
Yeah.
He gets all his energy.
Yeah.
And he sells it back to the government.
Exactly. I mean, we could totally make money off of that. And if people complain and say we don't have wind, that's not true. There's wind. We're on a lake.
Windy day.
We get really good windy days, and the proof of that is just go across into Ontario, and they have all the wind turbines. They're turning 24/7.
well, on the lake, that would have been, there would have been, that would have been perfect.
It'd be okay having them out on the lake, but we could also put them inland.
But who would fund all this money?
Well, there were
know.
well, when they looked
If
at,
if they got money to put a tunnel underneath the bay, I think they could scrounge up money to do this.
well,
I would hope so.
I think, when they looked at it, they were looking at, were there any grants out there, were there, who is interested in doing this, No one's going to do it until they're squeezed, but...
And nobody's going to do it for free either, but is
Yeah.
there not a company out there that wants to push their product so much that we could go to them and say, hey, look, we'll give you the land to put it on, we'll work out some sort of deal over the energy later, you supply the turbine, we'll supply the land.
A lot of times,
It'll just happen.
A lot of times companies are looking to be the first.
Yeah.
Perfect example was when we redid Erie Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't on the school board then, but I remember I knew a couple of people that were. And there was an offer from a corporation to come in and put a dome on it. Now, don't laugh.
I'm not
People laugh, they go, Erie Stadium, a dome? But if you look at Gannon right now and you look at Edinburgh, they got dome fields.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a dome here. We actually built at Gannon, they built a fixed roof. But Edinburgh's got the inflated dome down there, for,
Right.
extracurricular activities, a practice field.
Yeah.
So they were looking, I thought it was Carrier, but I don't want to say they. So what did they do? They went up into, I think, Syracuse, did Syracuse University. But a lot of companies are looking like with a novel idea. They'll say, hey, look, let us try it, right?
Right.
If it fails, we'll pay the damage,
Yeah, yeah.
And they actually did build a stadium in Erie when they redid it. There was a thought process. They could have done it in a way that they could have put this fabric dome on it. Now, there was a lot of reasons why they didn't, but you're right. With the wind turbines, and now they even got water turbines up in where they have turbines underneath the water.
Yeah.
Where you have ocean currents that are providing electric.
Yeah.
They must have thought it was wacky when we took Niagara Falls and did that.
Oh, sure, exactly. But no, that could happen. I mean, we might have to really be careful with the placement in the lake because we have the big ships coming and going from Ronjon for repair in the wintertime. But outside of that, there's a lot of
Well, that's what I mean. There was a lot of
at.
work to be done. I mean, they were going to look at the, what effect it would have on fish, wave action.
Yeah.
You just don't put them up there.
Right.
And that was one theory. The other theory, I think, was probably they were looking at them out in the northeast more.
Yeah.
Towards 90 up on the hill.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Because, it's where you see them now. You go down through Cleveland. You're right. There's one right by the football stadium. There's another one.
if you go on 90 or you go on 480, there's a couple on either one that you just see it.
Well, I think the only one in Erie I know of, well, I shouldn't say the only one, but Sisters of St. Benedict, I think, have one.
Really?
Don't they?
I don't know.
There was a small one at
the
Tom Ridge Environmental Center, but it broke.
Yeah.
And they didn't put it back in because the ice was a problem. Yeah.
Oop, somebody
Almost. We almost got one.
almost got a call.
Almost. Try again.
But yeah, I'm not against wind turbines. I think it's a great idea.
People will argue, and they're going to say, well, we don't have the wind. I'm sorry, that's a fallacy. We have wind. We're on a lake. There's always
but the
wind.
panels are a lot better. You can have dim day outside.
Exactly.
And
And people
still,
say that, too. They say you're not going to get power if you don't have full sun. That is also a fallacy.
Myth, yeah.
You need just light. Just ambient light will give you...
If you put those dollar
power.
things in your yard, they light up at night, right?
Exactly. They charge all day long, even if there's cloud cover, because it's getting light.
But with the wind turbines,
Yeah, go by there on 38th and Davison. This guy, he does makes pots and stuff. What you call ceramic.
Your cousin that made the windmill thing too. That would be. I want to meet.
I think there's
Okay.
another one,
patent
East
on
38 too, that has panels on top of his house.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there on 38th Street in Davison. Right across from
Oh,
the
is that
movie
it?
place.
There's
yeah.
actually a solar power movement. I can't remember the name of the group, but there's a group in Erie that tries to push for solar energy, and we need to
If
talk
you don't
to
think
them.
there's wind, go up to the top of the tower, the
Yeah.
Bicentennial
I
Tower,
know.
or
Yeah.
go up on top of like the Baldwin Building,
Yeah.
Renaissance, and the wind is a little different than it is down on the ground.
It is, and I think we need to move forward with ideas like that and not be afraid.
But who's going to
of the
listen?
naysayers.
Who's going to listen to you, me, or Kaz? And the legislators ain't going to listen.
There was a serious movement.
Listen.
There's been a serious movement the last couple of years, but even the county got behind it a little bit. But I don't know what happened to it. I think it stalled a little bit. But
Everything stalls in this city. Why can't we just make something happen? Why, Cass?
Well, they do everything else down here, down the county. They do what they want to do, you know.
see, there's nothing that says a lot of towns own their own power company.
Right.
Go ahead, caller.
You're talking about wind tunnels.
Wind turbines.
Turbines.
A tunnel turbine. I know you can get a lot of wind power.
Oh, no,
we don't go there.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Hey, John. Remember when the wind used to come between? Let's see now. I got to remember the Lawrence Hotel,
Yeah.
the YMCA, the Renaissance
Yeah,
Building.
that alleyway through there.
Yeah, that wind tunnel down through there. Remember, John?
Yeah.
That was like the wind would just blow down 10th Street.
Nice.
Yeah, that's true. But getting back to those wind turbines, you know, Toronto is outlawing theirs now.
Why?
Oh, what's that about?
People are getting sick from it. It's mental because all you hear is that constant rapping of the blades as they're rotating.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
No, look it up. They're going big to get rid of that. And the one at the Ridge Center, is that running?
No, they won't put it back up because the ice forms on it and falls off, and they don't want to deal with the problem.
Oh, and the same thing out in the lake then, wouldn't it?
It's possible, unless there was a design flaw. I mean, you might be able to work around that.
Like that, it was broke down more than it was in function.
Yeah, but how are they doing in Cleveland?
How they do it in Cleveland, I have no idea.
And he said, and you said Buffalo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, the people out in Northeast, they nixed theirs and the company pulled out.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, there was that one, and I'm trying to think what happened to the Lake Project. They were talking about that one too, and that kind of.
It was down around Westgate Farms on the bank down there. But you know, they do have a new design now. It looks like the old type tomato puree maker, like a nose cone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have one of those. But and besides, you know, the taxpayers would wind up paying more for that electricity because the companies are getting paid whether they use it or not, and the federal government subsidizes these things.
Right.
So if I build a windmill and I'm not getting enough power to take care of it, the taxpayers will give me the money. But the reason why I called, I see that city council in their illustrious wisdom again got the redevelopment authority off the hook when they waived, 16 properties they own.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't much money involved in that one.
That was with city taxes. But
Yeah.
let's get to the school taxes and to the county taxes. So we're letting them off the hook, and in the meanwhile, they'll be coming to city council to get $500,000 for windows on their building at 14th and State, put a second and third floors, and we're going to lose a good taxpayer in Junior Litz down there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go along with that one.
And, you know,
The other property, though, John, if I remember right, when they showed us the data, it was all vacant property.
and there were houses. But when you're selling them for $150, and they're attached to another property, they're not going to get any tax money on vacant land. It's just as bad as Dahlkemper wanting to hire 19 employees, and she said she's going to bring jobs into the county. The well is going to go dry.
True, but if we haven't collected the taxes and you can't sell the property, I mean, it's just going to be, you're going to carry it on your books as for what, you know?
So let's get rid of the redevelopment authority and get somebody else to come on in that will handle it. Just like you handled it before.
The trouble is, every time they come to council and we get a lot of these people, they're land flipping.
That's true.
And what we're more concerned is, if you're going to buy it, what are you going to put on it? Now, we have nothing against, we get a couple of people every once in a while that come in here, and we expunge the taxes, they buy the land, they fix it up, they add it to their property, basically just as a yard, like.
Yeah, and they sell it and get out.
Well, no, a lot of them cut the lawn and keep care of it. It's next door. It's like me, John. I got a field next to me, right?
I've got a triangle the city owns.
Yeah. Now, if they would give that to you and say, you know what, no taxes, you know, wipe the taxes off, it's yours.
I tried to get it. I wanted to put a pizza shop up there years ago.
They won't give it to you?
No.
How big is that triangle?
I don't know. I think it could be possibly an acre and a half.
Is it big enough for a business?
Yes. It's a triangle.
When I come up there, show it to me.
When you come up, you can't miss it.
We own it?
Who? The city owns it, yes.
I don't see why they wouldn't sell it.
Well, those days are gone now. I've been paying too much money on my taxes.
No, I mean, we have people, I have people approach me that want certain things, and the city is in a good mood now to dump. They are dumping like alleyways and stuff.
Yeah, sure, they don't want to take care of them.
What, can you blame them, really? I mean, you know.
They can't even take care of their own streets.
Yeah, I mean, some of these alleyways are, they're not usable, really, and they haven't been for years. There's no purpose to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So a lot of times the neighbors want to, you know, say, hey, let me buy it. You know, I'll clean it up.
And do they pay tax on it?
Yeah, they do once they turn it over.
But, you know, just look at Scott. He's building high-hops now in Mill Creek and Summit Township. If the city would have gave him a break, he might have put one in downtown.
The thing is, with Nick, I asked him one time, and he said, while nobody ever asked him, which we haven't never done that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and yeah, he's going to, first of all, he's going to go up there because he has numbers. Okay?
Yeah.
These corporations, John, I'm telling you, I argued with him one time. My parish priest over at Holy Rosary, he argued with a friend of his about putting in, it's right near your area. He wanted to put an Applebee's in about the area where that family home video is.
Yes.
You remember when that was empty?
Yes.
And the guy came out, he looked at it, and he goes, can't happen. My parish priest goes, why? You know, I got all my parishioners would. This is before the breakfast place. You know, he said, you know, people on this side of town would love a place like that. And he goes, numbers aren't there. John, they're tied up. I tell you this, and you can't argue with these people.
Well, the numbers don't always tell the truth.
No, but you know what? Here, I asked a prominent builder in the area. I said, well, how come we can't get Joe's Crab Shack? Okay? And Joe's Crab Shack one time was going to move up there about where they were going to have 4 stores, 4 restaurants up where like Max and Irma's is.
Yeah.
And Smoky Bones and all that, and Outback. And Mill Creek gave them a little bit of hard time. They backed out, and the other 3 went in, but it was too long of a wait for them. And then I asked this guy, I said, well, how come they won't come back? And he says, you need, what was that figure he gave me? You need 260,000 people. I said, well, we got that. He said, no, it's not the county. It's not the metropolitan area. You need 260,000 people
In the city.
in this circle. And I said, well, what's that circle? And he goes, he draws a circle for me. He said, this circle is equal to Erie and Mill Creek. And I go, what? That means there's only like 150 in that circle. He says, you're right. He says, for somebody to argue the point with these companies, you almost have to, take the risk, or, you'll get no backing from them. They won't recommend it or anything. That's the problem we have in Erie. I mean, nobody's seen that, because when was the last time, John, you saw anybody outside of private investment? I'm not talking about Tim Hortons or McDonald's. When was the last time you seen a major chain restaurant coming here?
Just recently.
Which one?
Jimmy John's.
No, major chain. I'm talking about, when you get up into the sit-down category, like Outback or one of them, okay?
No, they're all moving out the outskirts.
Yeah, they won't come in. They won't come in the city because they would rather all go out there and die. I'm serious. They would rather all go out there and die because their demographic numbers and their research shows them that's where it is. And then you mention East Side Erie, and they go, oh man,
Oh, that's bad news.
they're not coming in. Now, there's no reason. I mean, the Applebee's they built, if you look at it, it's just over the Wesleyville line in Harbor Creek.
Right, and they're building a Dunkin' Donut out there too.
Yeah, no, why not in Erie, right?
That's right.
I mean, you look at, now the breakfast place, they do good. The Jade Garden, they do good. The Pizza Hut does good.
Well, you have that chamber down there not doing their job.
But in the last 20 years, John, I haven't seen any. You'd probably be lucky if Pizza Hut came back here.
True.
I mean, that was, those are all built back when I was in high school and first married,
If these little entrepreneurs try to come in, they try to build a sandwich shop or something, and they get no help. Just like you give all that money, that low-cost loan to the Dairy Queen up there, I haven't seen any movement on it.
Well, I talked to the guy. He is going to do something. He's probably timing it for, I was told he's going to probably time it for this winter, when it's off season a little bit.
I don't know. I always thought he did good all year round.
He does, but if he's going to if he's going to take a chance, who was it that they shut down?
That little restaurant across the way there?
No, it was up on Peach Street. They had to actually shut down. I'm thinking it's up there across the street from Quaker Steak. Is that Applebee's or TGIF?
Applebee's is down below a little bit. Across from Quaker State,
It's the one right across the street from there. Applebee's? They shut down, actually, while they renovated. That's unusual. Most places don't want to shut down for more than a couple days,
That's Scott's place.
Well, you get a good contractor and you have everything ready, it shouldn't take you more than a couple days.
No, you're right. And I think, no, he's right. If
Yeah, but how long it take him to do that gazebo over here?
Yeah, let's not go
4
into that.
months?
But no, John's right, though. But a lot of companies will, with these restaurants, if they put them under the gun and pay a premium,
Right.
they want it done quick.
Sure, you block it off and just clean it up, and you work on the other side, and you hurry up and get it done.
I'll find out for you. I go up there once in a while, the Dairy Queen. But last time I talked, they told me that they that was going to be a little later in the year, that project.
That restaurant that was doing good up there by South Erie Pizza, there's problems there, and I don't want to say what they were over the air, but
Aren't they back again or not?
trying, but there's a little bit of problem with matrimonial baloney.
Oh, that's always like that.
So, but
That's what killed the some of the other businesses in Erie over the years.
that's true. But we have to start getting these people to get involved with these businesses that want to come in. The chamber's got to do something. These people are getting the big money. The whole six-figure salaries they're getting.
Yeah.
They're just going up backwards to their check.
I agree with you, John.
But all the teams did well this weekend. The Browns, the Bills, the Giants.
Yeah, we got hosed a week ago, but
Well, it was a hose job, all right. And I'll tell you what, they got to have the replay done in a central location and keep these officials from getting their heads under the hood.
Yep.
Have a great day.
I have a little article here.
Yeah. Wind turbines?
Our Ohio viewer, hi Joe, is watching and sent me a link. No definitive link between wind turbines and poor health, says Health Canada study.
Ah.
So, I mean, they're trying to do studies on it, and a lot of places apparently are saying that this does not cause a health problem.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey guys,
Hey.
well, yeah, John just talking on there. You're talking small businesses coming in. I mean, you guys are talking small chain restaurants, stuff like that, right, Kaz?
Well, I'm talking about, I'd like to see a lot more of everybody come in here, but we don't seem to get the big names anymore at all, you know.
What happened at supermarket?
Listen to me for 1 second. I'll tell you what we got to do.
Yeah.
This is so easy. Corporate America, they got to look at themselves. Right now, we're $17 trillion in debt. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Corporate America, the GEs, the Fords, Dems, they got to look at themselves and think, hey, we're going to take a bite now for a little bit. We're going to bring jobs back into America. We got to stop the greed that's going on in this country. Okay? The shareholders aren't going to get their money for a little bit. We're going to have to take a bite. All right?
You're right.
Jobs back to America. We're going to bring factories back to America, especially around here with the Great Lakes. This water is invaluable, Kaz. I mean, this is where it's going to be in the future. This is where it's going to be. And right now, we just have to take the bite for next year and say, hey, we're not going to make the profits, but we're going to make the profits. It's going to take a little time. You agree with me? Do you see where I'm coming from?
I do. And then I think, like when you talk about the city, I think, you know, there's people here that want to do business. You know, we don't all want to drive up to Summit or, you know, take a chance in our neighborhood. You know, take a chance down here in certain areas. You know, it'll make out. But, you know, trying to get them to agree to that is like...
I'm talking about building cars here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean...
Like we used to do.
Well, we were out talking yesterday with a classmate of mine, and he was one of the guys that got cut at Hammer Mill. And we were talking about how... What happened? You know, all of a sudden, you know, all these plants, you know... They're gone, and all the ones we hoped for, like, you remember when they were talking about putting the Saturn plant here? Mm-hmm. You remember that, right, sir?
Kaz, listen to me for a second.
Go ahead.
Greed happened. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Greed happened. They didn't care about that hammer mill. That hammer mill sitting on the east side of Erie, that built all the other hammer mills in the United States. That was the original. International paper didn't give a crap about that place.
No, it's all about stockholders there.
Happened. Greed took over. And we got to stop that. Corporate America's got to look at themselves.
Well, you bring up a good point. When you look at the people that started Erie and Hammer Mills, you know, the Barron family out of Hammer Mill? Huh. When you look at them, when you look at the Lords
and the
Zerns, you know, they all hung in there. They may have been little fish in big fish in a little pond here, but they all did rather well, and those companies did well.
Well, look at Zern. How many buildings did they have back in the 70s? They were probably the number one employer at the time back in the 70s.
This gentleman brings up a point that they may not have made the big money all the way through, but they made good money, and they were, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's about, you know, their kids. Their kids have taken over the court. You know, they look at Erie and they go, well, we can make more money shutting you down. You know, figure that one out. But go ahead, sir. You've got the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, you know the story of Henry Ford, all right?
Yeah.
Started building cars. He says, hey, I think he said $5 a day is what I was going to pay my workers back when they were building Model Ts. That was outrageous. That was just too much money. People couldn't believe that he was going to pay his workers that much money. But his philosophy was, I'm going to pay my workers, they're going to buy my cars, they're going to build my company.
Yeah, he's right. They could buy what they were building.
Okay.
And then also help other industry in the area, too.
That's what we got to do right now in corporate America. We got to put money in the people's pockets. That's what's going to make this country prosperous again.
Well, I agree with you because we have no middle class left, and that's apparent. You know, you go around town here now and you find out, you know, people don't own their homes. They don't own, you know, they don't have jobs. Even the ones that want to work, there's not a lot of work there.
Yep.
Like Zerns is moving out of Erie completely, and they're going to be gone. And like I said, then you had Steris, they're gone, and Kaiser, they went under.
But the gentleman brings up a point that, a lot of these companies, I always laugh when they say, well, we're going to close this grocery store chain down. Not because you didn't make money, because we can make more money not coming here. It's like, sometimes you wonder, you
What
just...
happened to that store in Grandview?
It goes in and out.
Yeah. Well, hey, on a lighter note, I got a question for DJ there.
Oh,
Yes.
he needs some. He
I'm
wants
on
to be
the spot
involved.
now. I'm in trouble. What you got?
I remember, if we're in the early days of Cat TV, DJ, remember the clowns in the alley?
Yes, I do.
You weren't one of them guys, or were you involved in that?
I actually didn't join up with Cat until 2001, and they were already on their way out the door. So I didn't even actually meet them, but I know who they are.
Did you like him, sir?
Well, yeah, do you remember that? That was like a live call-in show. It'd be on like 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I asked DJ about him once. I said, those guys are classic, though.
I have old archives, and I started airing them once, and the next day I got complaints. They were not even joking about anything that was relevant, yet somebody called me up and said they didn't like that I was putting on people that were picking on politics in Erie. So I pulled it back off the air because I got complaints. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so some of these citizens opened their mouth, he wouldn't be bashing the politicians.
Well, DJ, you can't replay those, can you?
I can. I took the liberty of copying them to DVD, so I own personal copies of them. So yes, I could do such a thing if I didn't think I was going to get yelled at again.
You do it for a fundraiser, maybe?
We could do it for part of it. We're doing a fundraiser next year. I could bring them back. Yeah, I could put them back on the air as long as people don't complain too loudly. They're just, they were great. They were funny, and they were...
Hey, if you can't... I would have loved to have been like...
It was satirical, so it wasn't serious. It's not like they were doing anything to have an uprising against
Well, you
the
got to be able to
government.
laugh at yourself
Yeah,
once in a while.
I'll put them back on the air. If that's an official request, I'll do it.
That was great. There was a lot of stuff at early Cat TV that was great. Hey, replay it. You guys got a lot of downtime on there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times I've seen you just running messages and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
Sir, one of the problems we had when we went through the funding problem at City Hall here, a lot of people thought they were like over the edge, on some things. And I'm going,
They thought we were dangling over the cliff, and a lot of people just didn't come back.
but that's what what they don't understand about local TV is that you do things there that are a little different. That's,
We've had city council come to us before and say, we don't like that you have this show on, and we say, but that's democracy. That's freedom of speech. We're there so people have a voice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for all of our generation, they used to read Mad Magazine and all that,
Yeah.
We think it's funny, but...
Yeah, but when the city comes to you and says we don't like it, then...
Hey, if somebody wants to do a parody on me, I'll probably laugh at it, if they...
Oh, you'll be part of the parody. You'll be in on it.
I just want to make sure they do it right, though. Don't, make me look...
Yeah, you'll be invited. Yeah, I can look into if you really want to see it again. I'll do it. Anything else?
You still there, sir? Nope, you must have...
Well, yeah, seriously, I will,
You think... do you remember this show?
It was called The Alley, and it was two guys dressed up as clowns.
Oh, they were like...
They were known as Al and Lee, and the one guy would drink out of a bottle of Listerine, and he replaced it with tea, so it looked like he was drinking booze, but it was Listerine bottle with tea in it. And they used to sit there, and they used to pick on Mario all the time. They would like tear apart all the political things going
Mario
on in the
probably thought it
city.
was funny.
Mario thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But, I have no problem putting it on because everything they're joking about has gone and passed. And as long as people don't call up and complain, I'll try to keep it on.
It's kind of like watching... One time they had Rowan and Martin laughing on TV.
Yeah.
And my son looked at me and he goes, "What's so funny?" And I couldn't blame him because, you know what? The kids don't understand because everything they talked about on there was relevant to that time frame. So, like when they... if you were born during Vietnam,
Yeah.
or you lived during that time frame, it would say, like you'd see a little crawler at the bottom of the show, and it said, President Johnson reports that the light at the end of the tunnel is now 10 feet closer or something.
Oh.
And my kids go, what's so funny about that? And I go, well, see, you just, you weren't there at that time, so, so even like with a lot of stuff you watch on TV, like the old, laugh-ins or something like that, they're just not, or the old Saturday Night Live, the kids today can't understand the context of that early humor,
We've had a lot of stuff like that on cable access, and that's what it's about. It's about people having their voice and vision heard.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't go up to Channel 12 and do that,
Oh, no, you can't just say, I want to go on the air and just make jokes. No, you can't do that. But if you come down to the studio, we'll give you a camera and say, have at it.
Yeah, as long as you don't cross the bounds.
Oh, yeah, there's only 4 things you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to have anything libelous or slanderous. Of course, you can't be talking trash about people. Keep it in community boundaries, standards, so no pornography and no swearing if you can help it. Let's see, no gambling and no calls to action. That's in, the commercial content. This is, I'll sell you this phone for $10. You can't get prices and stuff. But outside of that, anything you can do, people are more creative than that.
I guess the line gets hairy when you're talking about if you're parodying,
If it's parody or satire, that's still also technically okay. But if you're just trash talking somebody, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And if I catch that, I'll pull it off the air because it's against our rules. It's against our.
Yeah, they were kind of poking fun,
Yeah. The only reason they got pulled off of the air was because somebody called up once and swore.
Oh, really?
Because they were live.
Oop, when it went off the air.
Again, we lost another one.
Okay, now what's going on with the Transit Authority?
We're going to be meeting today. In fact, I'm right after here. I'm going over across the courthouse. So I'll have
Meeting.
Huh?
Who's meeting?
It's
City and county?
City and county council are meeting to see what they're proposing, and we're a committee of 3 from this side, and we are representing. We will report back to council members. So when that is done, with their okay, I will tell you what happened at the meeting. Up until that time, it's going to be it's for the 2 groups to talk out for a while.
Right.
But to start another authority, county council didn't have to have an authority. You know how those authorities go. Look at the water department.
Well, I think we have precedence in the fact that we turned over the Civic Center to them, okay, and they formed a new authority there. The airport authority was not turned over, but the airport authority was expanded. So we don't know really what, we only know a little bit of what they approach us on. So today's meeting we'll find out what they propose and...
Well, you know what they're going to do. You both know what's going to do. They're going to have an authority, put their friends in, and that's where it's going to go.
I got to, they have to know that I represent the 99,000 now, okay, Erie City people, and I'm going to look out what's best for them. And, if that makes me anti-progress or whatever that makes me, so be it. I want to see what they have to offer.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, did you ever find out if it
Hello?
be down? Hold on.
You broke up really bad, sir.
Yeah. Did you ever find out if there was a late fee if you don't pay your water?
Yeah, I was reading mine. It says right on there is a late fee.
There is?
Yeah, it says on the bill. I was reading the back side of the bill, and it says failure to pay, and there will be an assessment of fees.
Okay.
But if like we're going to be meeting with Mr. Wojtak, I can ask him for clarification. But when I looked over my bill, it was on the back. It said that failure to pay it would be subject to that.
Is there any way you can change that to make the bills back here in the city?
Yeah, we could. Well, go ahead, sir. Mr. Stemka asked me something. Go ahead, sir.
I think you should talk to them about staggering the bills.
We did. In fact, based on what you told me, we had a caucus meeting before our council meeting, and not only I brought up the fact that I had a couple of phone calls over the last few weeks concerning that on my show, and plus the people that stopped me in the street. Other councilmen had the same, phone calls. We will tell, it was our intent from day one to have them spread out. And we're going to, when we meet with him next time, Mr. Wojtak, we have him contacted to appear before one of our finance sessions. Yeah, we're going to bring it up to him once again that we want them spread. The figure I heard was at least 1 month.
At least 1 month.
Yeah, and we wanted that from the start. Now, we gave him a grace period because he said he needed time to put everything together. But we're going to push him a little bit and tell him we would like it spread out to a month. And not just because of the mail being delayed, that's one thing. But when you look at the actual billing dates, we want them separated by at least a month or so. So, you did have some, we did bring it up. I was surprised that other members were getting phone calls too. And so, we're all concerned that we want it, it's working out nice, but we want to make it work out better. And if we can spread it out a month or so and that helps everybody out, that's even better yet.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'll keep you informed as when we meet with Mr. Wojtak.
Okay.
But we did, as a council, we did discuss it, that was our intent from day one, that they shouldn't be that tight, the bills,
Right. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, like I said, they're doing it downstate, making the bills out, right? Mm-hmm. It's costing the taxpayer.
Well, I mean, they do it here locally. Well, I don't know how they do it.
You have all these offices here and here, and in the courthouse, they get move in here and make it in Erie somewhere.
Hold your comment, I'll answer it. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz.
Yes.
Write this down, this address, 3923 Briggs.
Okay.
Okay, I've been trying for 2 months now. There's a fire hydrant there. That's up in the Mercier's College area. Their cars block it every day. They walk right across there. If there's ever a fire up there, they're never going to hook up to that hydrant.
Okay. They told us, actually, Councilman Mirsky and I got a letter from the traffic engineer and the parking authority that said they were tagging pretty aggressively up there. Are they?
I don't know. They keep parking there. They keep parking. I live up that way, and I go by there every day.
Right. Briggs and Lewis is a big problem. We know about it. In fact, we ordered a traffic study to incorporate Briggs and Lewis also. Something's going to be done there with the parking authority. That's our intent, that we're going to try to get more coverage up there.
I talked to Mercier's security. I talked to their fire protection. I talked to some lady in the office. Mm-hmm. All of them tell us it's not their responsibility. It's the city's responsibility. I said, you know, we get a fire up there, and they can't hook up to that. It's going to be a lot of kids maybe losing their lives up there. They're your kids.
I'm going to talk to Mr. Kuhn. He's the Deputy Kuhn?
Well, who's ever up there, I don't know. But
yeah, he's the chief. If you ever call back, ask for Bob Kuhn.
I talked to him already, too.
He did?
About 3 weeks ago, he was going to take care of it. I talked to...
He wrote a letter. I saw it. I have a copy of it. He wrote a letter to all the students warning him, but at the same point, you got a valid point. I have to make sure now that the parking authority and or the police department are going up there. What time is it? Do you usually see them parked there?
In the morning, like anytime from 7 o'clock till noon, that's when I go by there. They're different cars, too. There's not the same one. There's all different cars shoot in there. They park there.
But blocking a fire hydrant, right?
Oh, sure you are. You can't get at it.
Yeah.
The next hydrant is at 38th and Reed. There's not on 38th and Briggs. There's no hydrant. So they got 2 blocks away to lay lines and everything.
3923, right?
3923.
3923, right?
So much I've been trying to call everybody. And I call the non-emergency call for the cops, and they tell me the cops are busy, which they are. I don't blame the cops. And they send me over to the parking authority. They don't answer the phone half the time.
Yeah, I know. They told us they were tagged. In fact, I went up there one day again. I went up about a week ago. They did have some cars tagged on that. Because if you know, the problem, believe this one, they told me that the college kids have trouble understanding the signs, and I said, they couldn't be clear yet. It's very simple.
Let me tell you something.
It's about Tuesday. That's the parking.
Across the whole world, not only the city of Erie, you can't park in front of a fire hydrant. I don't care if you're in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, or London, England. You can't block a fire hydrant. Yeah,
that I agree with you on, but they were even having trouble understanding the parking with when you can only park on one side.
Odd even day.
The odd even up there. And I said, it can't be much clearer, but I'm going to take a ride up there every once in a while because I live in that area. And I'm going to keep an eye on that 3923 and see if, I'll personally call while I'm sitting there.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, in case something happens up there, we're going to have one heck of a time trying to get, and then they're going to blame the fire department for not doing their job.
You know what I want to be? I told the fire department, I would love to do like they did in that movie. You take an axe through the guy's windshield, and then stick the hose in there, make sure it's loose, right inside the car, and just,
Yeah. Okay, Kathy, that's it. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we are aware of that, but I'm glad you brought this up because I'm going to take a look at this one. Okay? Because there is a bad situation up there.
I've seen that done, not in person, but I was looking for it on YouTube. They broke out both of the windows, they put cardboard over it, and they ran the hose through the car and hooked into the fire hydrant
And
to
you
make
hooked
a point.
the connection's right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good.
Hey, I was just calling in reference to that guy a little bit ago about water, sewer, and garbage bills. When I realized that my bill had come 10 days after the previous one, I called and asked about it, and he told me that it's going to take them as much as 12 months to work that out to where they'll eventually be staggered at least every 30 days. He says what it was when you switched everything around last fall, it kind of screwed up their process. So it's this cycle that the way I explained, he said the bills will come out within 10 days of each other. The next quarter, they should come out within about 20 days of each other, and then the quarter after that, they should be within about 30 days of each other. It's something to do with the process of their billing. So
yeah, that's about what he told us at council too, and
so they're working on it. And then also, he said very unofficially, he said if you're having trouble paying your bill and your bill's a couple weeks late, you're not going to get assessed a late fee. He says when they look at your record and see that you've always paid your bills on time and you're having a little trouble during this process, that they probably would waive any penalties. But, that was unofficial.
Yeah, because, it's on the bill and it says they can do it, but he's been very good about it. In fact, he told us, he said, all people got to do is really call us up. If you got a problem,
yeah, he said if you got a
we'll
problem,
work with
give
you.
me a call. But he said they know there's problems, so like I said, he told me unofficially. He said there would be no penalties during this process, but that depends on whether you're chronically paying your bills late or if you've been a good customer all your life, and all of a sudden you're getting hit with this and you can't afford it for this short period of time. That they would look the other way. So
yeah, it was council's intent to do it, and he told us, he's going to do. We were just going to ask him again, though, what's the progress on it?
Yeah.
Because it's our intent that we want them to be spread out a little bit. We don't want anybody overburdened right away, Yeah. But like he said, he just what he told you, shifting all this stuff into the new process what we wanted took a little time and effort.
Yeah, the way he explained it to me, he said when they first come out, they almost came out at the same time. Then when they came out this quarter, they were about 10 days apart. And he said next quarter they should be about 20 days apart, and a quarter after that they should be at least a month apart. So you should get one bill 1 month and then the other bill the following month. The way it all used to be, because the bills were split up anyway, and that's the way they used to come. One would come 1 month and then the next one would come the next month. So
yeah, he's been working with us pretty good. So we're pleased. Everything's it's getting to be much more stable where everybody's paying their fair share a little bit better.
How are you doing on all the delinquent ones, the big ones? Are they starting to pay them off, or?
Yeah, he said they got. He was telling us there's a lot of payment plans in effect. They've made a lot of hits.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've turned any water off yet. That still remains the thing they can do.
Just going to ask, has anybody been shut off?
I don't think if there has been, it hasn't been too many yet.
Yeah.
But he said it was amazing how many people, when the threat was there, now came to the table.
Oh yeah.
And he told, as we look at over the long period, as this process gets going, it's been the older money's been taken care of, but there's always a rolling figure. There's people that
oh Yeah, you always have current out.
Yeah, there's current people now coming on board where the old ones leave, but the nice thing is, it's not growing at the rate it was where, you're accumulating more and more all the time now.
Yeah.
Now the figures...
more stabilized.
Yeah, the figures kind of stay normal now within a certain range.
Yeah.
So, it's actually probably holding at the same number almost every month now.
All right, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that's the way it was explained to me, that eventually within the next 6 to 12 months they'll be separated by a 30-day cycle at least. So
Yeah, that's our hope too, so.
yeah, it's still twice what we used to pay though. I'm thinking back a few years. I've been paying them bills since 1963 at the same address. So yeah, I remember when we used to get them all billed at once, all three of them. I'm paying more now just for my water and sewer, or my sewer and garbage, than I did for all three of them years ago. The price of water's definitely gone up.
Yeah, it's all the chemicals they put in there, and of course now we got as we add more customers on too, we got more
You ever find
infrastructure.
out how many people from Mill Creek came over?
No, I didn't, but...
That was just...
All right, then. I just wanted to let you know how it was explained to me. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Real quick, the fire hydrant thing, could we
Yeah.
not put something in front of that, like a concrete block? You know those blocks they use during the festivals to hold down the towers? Mm-hmm. Put something right there in that spot so somebody just can't park there. Or those concrete things that you pull up against in parking lots. Line a couple of them so close that you can't park between them, and then people just they have to park on both sides. Only for trouble spots, like that one that he called about. Just
I'm
to
not
teach
sure if we
people.
could, but...
So when are you going to meet
If there
with
are
the-
roads, we can do it.
So when are you going to meet up with this, the guy that takes care of the water bill? When you have a meeting coming up?
You mean Mr. Wojtek?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to... We put a request in him to come before council, so... I'm sure it'll be one of the next meetings.
Why don't you bring that work back to Erie?
Hold your thought and bring it up, because, Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, you're going to that meeting this afternoon?
Yes,
Is it just going to be county council and city council?
that's my understanding.
All right, when you go to that meeting, find out if the bus company already has these routes established to these outlying areas like Edinburgh, Harbor Creek, Corey, and all that. Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why the executive wanted to get more say on the board. And I'm sure these routes have already been established, and I think that the city should hold fast and have their own appointments, and I back the mayor on this.
Well, all we're saying is they want more appointments. Right now, presently, the way the board is, I believe there are 2 county residents which must be appointed, but the mayor appoints them, okay?
True.
But they must be residents outside the city of Erie. The way I understand it is Mill Creek, and I'm not sure, I'm going to hear it today, I think it's Mill Creek primarily, though, that wants, at least when you listen to their board when they met the one night, they want at least 1 or 2 guaranteed from Mill Creek. And they want to appoint them, not our mayor.
Well,
And then, we started the authority. That's how, originally started. We're the originating authority. So, the originating government body. I don't know what they're going to talk about, but I'll bring that up about, John, there's people come up to me and I said, there's no reason now why, if they really wanted to extend routes out to Corey, even more than they got now, there's nothing preventing them.
no, I have a feeling they have already been established, and they're just trying to sway everything to get the executive to get more of her picks on this authority.
Well, it's not only her. I think it's I know Mill Creek. They want to have the pick. Not even the county exec. They want to pick.
I think the city of Erie has the largest amount of this, and we should control it.
Yeah, it's about 70%.
That's true.
And
the gentleman was talking about the guys on his cat show.
Yeah.
Put him back on. Dean Martin drank apple juice all the time. Everybody thought he was a lush.
These guys were a classic. I'm telling you.
I really enjoyed it. You talk about the truth and everything. Write a letter to the editor and see how much they take out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always laughed on, like, Saturday Night Live, how they would show some of the presidents.
True.
They got a kick out of,
Well, I like my old buddy on Hee Haw, too.
which one was that?
Oh, the old Grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa Jones.
So they had the truth there, too.
What's for dinner,
have a
right?
great day.
What's for dinner? Getting back to you, yes, we could take over the authority. Yes, I mean, not the authority. We could take over the billing.
Yeah, but the building's downstate. Where was that? Where do they make the building at?
Well, I don't know how they do it.
They subcontract other sides of the city.
The problem was, Ron, that when the billing was farmed out. Okay. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz.
Hey, Doc, can you hold on 1 second?
Hear your wonderful program today.
Hey, can you hold on 1 second? Doc. Hello, Doc? Did he cut off?
I'm here.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Ron, the problem was when they farmed it out the first time, okay, when they decided to put out the billing for bid, I believe the Treasurer's Office put their bid in, and so did the Water Authority and anybody else who wanted to. And that's when the bid came out lower with the Water Authority.
But they passed the billing onto the up to the taxpayer. They put the burden on the taxpayer. I don't think you ever got out of the sewer department in Erie. I don't think you got a charge for that, making the bill.
You mean a service charge?
Yeah.
But then again, Ron, the problem was maybe you didn't see that service charge, but that was in your. Uh-oh.
Teach you how to turn that thing off.
Yeah, you got to turn that thing down. The trouble is that you didn't see it because it's buried in the taxes, okay?
Well, why don't you see about the old bill? And I'll find out from here if we got taxed.
Well, you don't look at the service charge and let that be your only thing, because what you don't see is what was the cost for her department to process it, okay? Now, you may not have seen a service charge, but that charge was in your taxes, okay? What they're saying is that when they took it out of the Treasury Department, okay, even with the service charge and everything, the city was in better shape doing it that way. So you can't, just because you didn't see a service charge doesn't mean it wasn't there, okay? You were paying for
Okay, but you
the charges in a different way.
Bill, but now you see $35 in one bill. And like I said...
Well, that's true. You know what? Eventually, Ron, hang on 1 second, Doc. Eventually, under the new form of accountability, under Gadsby accounting system, the government is going to have to show you more and more the true cost of doing business. It's not going to be able to be buried in your taxes. They're going to have to show you, like, okay, here's the cost. It's going to come to this, where you're going to see, you'll see what that service charge would have been if we do it for you, okay?
We'll see
because what you don't see is you don't see the appropriation of all those salaries.
See what the rate was back before they left here in Erie. See what the rates were.
Dig up an old bill.
I'll check it out.
Okay.
He's still on.
Go ahead, Doc. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc. Doc? Hello? Did we hang him up?
No, I didn't hang up. I think he hung up on you.
Oh.
'Cause I just did the busy thing, and then.
Please call back again. Yeah, see, that's what you're not seeing, but under new accountability, you're going to start seeing more how government functions.
Yeah, but I'm just
And
saying,
it's going to people are going to get a little upset, maybe.
they should be, all taxpayers should be $35 a quarter.
See, in the old days, you complained because all you got was a tax bill, all right?
Right.
You didn't know how much it cost for us to run the garbage department in the old days. You really didn't. Okay, you saw a little bit on there, but there was a lot of things like, salaries that were, crossover.
That was all added into the bill.
Right, but,
You got one bill.
yeah, but see, that made nice. Now you're seeing, okay, this is what you actually use, and this is what it costs for us to do that. Okay?
Yeah, but we're paying $111.
In other words, what all you ever paid, you just paid the water there.
Right.
You didn't see how much it cost for us to collect it. You didn't know how much it cost that department to collect it.
It might have been inside the rate. You don't know.
No, it wasn't. It would have been. They were using like water flow. So you used so many cubic feet of water. That was what your bill was. You paid for it.
You know what I'm fighting for? These people who can't afford it. $111 for the water bill for 1 quarter every 3 months. That's a lot of money, And the people on Social Security didn't get no raise increase.
Who's using that much water? Ron, I'm not using that much water. How much do you use?
I don't use that much.
I don't even come close to that.
I go to Ecom and take a shower all the time there.
Oh, no. Hey, look, I shower as much as anybody. I wash my clothes, my dishes, okay? Normal water use, I don't think I'm up to that high. Are you live in the city?
I do not.
You have a water bill, though, or?
It's something that's taken care of beyond me.
Well, you don't see it
I
then?
don't want to see it.
Okay. How much is yours, seriously?
Mine was $111 last month.
When mine was that high, I was starting to look at, I had a couple leaks around the house.
Oh, I checked mine.
Because I don't consider, well, it's only my wife and I now, so, when the kids were here, yeah, I was using a little bit, my son would run down the water tank. I mean, I don't sit in the shower for 20 minutes, okay?
What's the basic amount that you're supposed to pay for a water bill?
There is no basic amount anymore.
Don't they have a
There
basic?
isn't a base amount that if you don't run the water, you still pay that.
Oh, that would be, I think,
Say you go over, say, 2,000 gallons
that's what you call a,
consumption tax.
no, that might be, part of that might be the service fee. I'll have to ask Mr. Wojtak.
Yeah, because that's 35. Like I said, just got done saying.
That's
for
called
3
like a-
years, Social Security. You get no income.
There is a thing, there is a part of, you have to pay for the maintenance of the system, whether you use it or not. Okay, everybody has to pay that. It costs so much every day just to keep the system moving. The workers involved and everything. And then after that, then there's water usage. I'll ask him, and I'll try to look at my bill, break it
Tell them
down.
to break it down for us. This
But-
way,
And with that,
Was that, we gotta go?
we got to go.
we got to go.
gotta
We got to go.
I might not, I gotta tell you, I might not be here next week, so,
Why?
well, I gotta be on vacation.
You're always on vacation.
Well, my kids live out of town, I can't help it, okay?
He's got to find a replacement, and I swear I
There
will
you
not
are.
do it. I will not
There
do it
this
alone.
guy right- this
no, I
skunk
will not
right
do
here,
it
this
alone.
skunk.
So we'll try to keep you informed as to whether we have we're planning having a show with somebody here, but if we don't,
If you can get Steiner, I'll do my best to come and help.
if we
Okay.
did,
You
if
don't
we
wanna
did,
do a
if we
show.
did STEMCA, it'd be absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. if I
No,
can.
there's a lot of things that I got to be brought up. Like
That's
I
when
said.
he would say things that you won't let him say.
Oh,
You
no,
wouldn't be
no.
here to stop
I have
it.
to keep we do have FCC rules a little bit.
We do have FCC
Yeah, but what I'm
rules.
saying is Social Security, no increases for 3 years. You're on Social Security, didn't get no increase. I didn't get no increase. How about the poor person that retired 20 years ago and maybe getting $1,000 a month to live on? And now that water department's going up and taxes are going up,
And we could talk about that next time. We got to go. We're done.
we're done. Have a beautiful week.
I'm the timekeeper.
Oh, official one.
I'm trying.
And Doc, call me at home, I guess.
Yeah, Doc, I didn't hang up on you. I know you just got tired to listen to us talk, so he'll call you later.
Ain't that something? How do they figure that?
Hang on a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.